As we start to go out of the pandemic and the looks of manufacturer shutdowns are of the past, I think it makes sense to see where Lexus is when it comes to overall worldwide sales. Are they recovering from the pandemic, or they're still struggling off the shortages? We know that new NX owners are still waiting for their second key fobs, and this is because of shortage of chips. So, are we there yet? So let's look at the sales report worldwide and see what is the state of the nation. Hey, it's LSFT here today, and today we're here zooming out, and instead of looking at each market, we're going to zoom out and look at Lexus as a whole. We know that Lexus sells well in North America and in China, and we do pretty well at headquarters as well, right? In Japan. But are they doing better in 2023? Well, recent reports do say that we are actually trending similar to 2022 for the 2023 model year. And is that the case for Lexus? Let's get to it and go through the 2019 to March 2023 results to see are we trending up or we're really trending similar to 2022. Alright, let's start with Japan. And again, Lexus is made in Japan, right? So they purposely have a section just for Japan and they're not part of Asia. Anyways, so 2019 in Japan is the best year that they have, 62,394 units. And when you look at that, they didn't do well in early 2019. It's only starting April where their year-to-date numbers have actually gone better. So you can see 23,305 units was actually quite good for January, February, March till April. Then we have all the years you can see they didn't break any really months, but then their overall still seems to be breaking the records until July, and then all the way to October they did well, and then at the end 62,394 was the best year for the past 5 years. But now looking at, because before that you can see 2019 to 2022, 2019 was the best year, and 2023 it broke the record for the past 5 years. 6,283 in January actually broke the 2019 record. February 9,527 broke the 2019 record as well. And the year-to-date February 15,810 broke the record as well. March 12,329 units. That totally broke any record you can see in this column. And total March to end year to date is 28,139. And you look at this 28,000, that means May of 2019 numbers. That means more than 2021 in May. That also means July 2020 numbers. You can see where this gets to, right? August 2022 numbers. You can see that there's 3 units more than August year to date. This is surprising, right? Well, there's a few things. We know that in 2022, Japan has actually stopped sell Lexus so that they can actually produce more vehicles for the other markets. And that is probably one reason why they're now trying to fulfill Japan as much as they can so that they can catch up on people who have been waiting. So 28,139 for the first quarter is extremely good news for Japan. And what does that mean to the other markets? Alright, now we're looking at North America. North America is Lexus's largest market, and there were one time where people said that China will overtake it. But now looking at it, I think North America will still continue to be Lexus's largest market. So the trend of Japan didn't really flow into North America. 2019 was an extremely good year, 324,667 units, but 2021, they've actually reached 331,579. That year was where a lot of OEMs actually struggled, but Lexus in some ways did not struggle. So you can see March, April, May, June, July, they've done extremely well in those few months, which brought the numbers up. But then, if you look at the numbers near December, you can see that they don't compare well with the 2019 numbers. And looking at the total, 2019 definitely was a good year. 2021 was a good year. 2020, I would say, was okay, but you can see March, April, where the pandemic started. The numbers significantly has dropped, which then caused it to get lower than the 300,000 units that it should be looking at. We all know that 2022 was a disastrous year for Lexus, but they actually did quite well. When you look at it, 286,000 was not too far off, but with new products in the lineup, that was actually not a very good year. That was when the new NX actually got produced, right? The new NX was releasing in late November, December 2021, and then 2022 was really the core first year for the second generation NX, and they were struggling. They were really struggling to deliver. Let's now look at the best months. So 2023 January, 22,972 was actually the best year for January. And surprisingly, 2022, 22,064 was actually the best year before that. It was surprising because we said it was a bad year, right? Well, I think you'll start seeing the numbers drop in the latter months, and that's why it was a bad year. But now look at February, 23,853. Again, another breaking year for this month. You can see nowhere close the other months for February. Which means if you have the 2 months of record breaking, then February year to date, 46,830 is definitely a good year. And you can see, very good 2 months. But March it actually went down, 29,606, and it actually didn't do that as well as the first 2 months. But March year to date is 76,436, which is still more than the 2019 year. Not good enough to 2021, but I would say it's not too bad. Now we have to look at April. April, I think based on the initial numbers that I'm seeing, I think they will break the April month. It would actually be 30 something thousand. So it's another good month, which means I think we will be seeing close to this 2021 number. So it's actually a good sign. Alright, now looking at Asia. So Asia does not include Japan. And when you look at Asia, 2021 was their best year, but 2020 wasn't that far away. You can see 2019, 2020, 2021, you see continuous growth, even when there was the pandemic. But 2022, where Lexus has struggled with the chips, you can see a drastic drop of almost 50 something thousand units. And I don't know if there's going to be a sign for recovery for Asia, because we all know in China they have a lot of EVs and a lot of small startups with EVs, and I don't know where that market's going to really lie. And I think they are smart enough to know that the BEVs will have to be coming out in China in order to actually get a good number of sales in China. But other markets like Indonesia, Taiwan, and all that are part of Asia as well. So we will have to see if those markets can help support it and still keep the 200,000 units, because I've already seen articles late last year saying Nero is trying to beat Lexus already over the 200,000 mark units. So let's see where we land here. 2020 being a good year, even March year to date is 36,000. And right now in 2023, we're at 40,000. But when you look at here, 2021, 73,000. That's a lot to catch up to. But I think one thing is January 2023 was a bad month because if you look at it, that's only 50% of deliveries and even almost 33% of deliveries comparing to the best year. And then February has recovered a bit. You can see numbers are regaining a bit, making it 24,000, which is not the least of February year to date. And then March 16,000 seems like they're catching a little back up, but 40,000 is still not the best. But you keep in mind 40,000 compared to 2020, 36,000, they still made it to quite good numbers. So again, latter half of the year may be something that we'll have to look at Asia. It may recover and be able to push more out, but it's really hard to see. We'll have to see what this means. Maybe April we can see if it actually starts gradually going better, but maybe also Japan in March got 12,000 and they distributed more for Japan, and that's why these other markets have got less in March. All right, now let's move to Europe. So in Europe, you can see that 2019 was an extremely good year, 84,000 units. But then it kept on going down, 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 down. So two reasons for here. One is the pandemic. You can see that March 2020, 6,000 units, and it just kept on following. And then the second thing is 2022 Russia. So they've exited Russia market, which actually reduces the numbers that they're actually getting from the sales of Russia. So talking about Russia, they do about 18 to 20,000 units a year. So when you look at 70,000, 47,000, if you add 20,000 back in, you'll be looking at 67,000, which is quite comparable to the other years that we have. So looking at this, we will continuously see the numbers being reduced because of exiting Russia. And you may say, Russia in Europe? Well, I think that's how they've actually put it together. And that's why Russia market is actually inside the Europe market that they've put in the numbers. So this year, I'm not seeing that the European market going to be much better. You can probably start seeing that 50,000 would be their max without Russia. And when you look at the first month here, January, 3,600 units, way below the numbers that we are seeing here. February, 3,200, again, way below. But again, the way below is also related to exit of Russia. So it's going to be hard to find the benchmark, the right number, but just comparing to last year, it's still below the 2022 numbers, which I think that's something that's concerning. 6,900 units year to date for February, and then when you look at March, it seems to be getting better. It had gone back to the 2022 numbers, but still year to date, still far from where it's going to peak. So looking in Europe, I don't see them going and breaking any monthly records for the year, and then we have to slowly look at where would this all mean. Unfortunately, Europe is a good market to expand in, but it's hard for them to hit more numbers until we actually have to break down. Are we seeing, like, for example, UK? Are they going better? If they're going better, then maybe it's better. But from a continent or from a region, it's going to be hard to get that benchmark and be able to know if it's better or not. All right, now we're in Oceania. What is that? Australia, New Zealand, and the surrounding countries. And it seems like they're not getting the love. When we're looking at it, 2019 again is another year, good year, right? 10,769 units. Same trend, 2021, 10,521, but there's no excuse. There is no like leaving the market or whatever. And 2022, that's 8,336. No breaking months here at all. But when we look at 2023, January didn't look good. 602. February 788. And year-to-date February is 1390. Lowest of the years. But for whatever reason, March, something similar to Japan, 1299, breaking month. No other year they've actually sold that many. So 2689. And then what does that mean? Now it's ranking number 2 from 2021. Maybe April, May will tell me more. If they continue to get better months, they probably would start getting to a better number and probably close to 10,000 units this year. And I know many of you in Australia have been waiting for your vehicles. Hopefully, they're arriving shortly. Alright, Latin America. So this is South America and some other countries north of that. Small market. It's a small market, and you can see 2019 was a good year for them. 3,088, and nowhere close that it'll get that number, right? But because it's a small market, it's actually easy for them to adjust. They all need to sometimes just bring a few more hundred units, and they've actually broke the record as well, right? So when you look at 2019, April and all the way, they've done very well. So it looks like from 2019 April to really February 2020, they've done extremely well, and then the pandemic hit and the numbers dropped. And then after that year of the pandemic, 1895, 2021, they recovered a bit, 2,222 units, and then 2022, they actually rose, 2,269. So what does that mean for 2023? 2023, 206, not a record-breaking month, but close. February, 209, again, not breaking month, but close. Year to date, ranking number 2. And then March, 309, totally brings it back, and 724 now. So from March year to date, they've actually are growing in Latin America. Alright, Middle East. Middle East is not a small market at all. So when you look at Middle East, it's probably just behind Europe. And when you look at it, 2019 is also the similar trend. 34,894 units is the best year. And then same thing, 2021. Numbers have gone up between 2020, but haven't beat 2019. But then when you look at 2022, the numbers aren't too bad from 2021, and even better than 2020. So numbers do look good. Like didn't fall too bad, but they didn't actually get to 34,894. So when we look in 2023, January 3,054 broke all the records up here. February 2,902 actually is not too far from the record in 2020. So when we look at year to date for February, 5,956, just a shy off the best year. Actually not the best year, but shy off here, but still far from the best year. And then March, 4,362. Similar to Japan, they've actually did very well. And March year to date is 10,318. It blew them out totally. So I think April, May will actually set the tone for the year. And because of that, we will probably see close to breaking the record in Middle East if they can continue this momentum. Because first 3 months, 10,000, and then half a year will be 20,000, right? And then full year could actually potentially be 40,000. And the last market, Africa. Africa by itself is a small market. It's probably the smallest market you can see, right? If you look at all overall, it's the smallest market for Lexus. And same trend. 2019 was the best year. 2020 dropped. 2021 recovered a bit, but a little bit different. 2022, it actually did increase. But you can see there's no months that it actually sold more than 2019. 2023, not a good start at all. 117 for year-to-date February is almost the last. It's the bottom of the list. 2021 didn't do as well, but 2023 is the next one. March, with all these recoveries of other markets, it has not broken the record as well. So 94 versus 144 record is still far off. 214 is still very mid-pack at this point. So I don't know. Africa market, even though it's a small market, they can easily go and pick a little bit from other markets and fulfill it and actually break records in Africa. But I guess it depends on demand and supply as well. I don't know how much demand is there in Africa, and is it actually okay at this point to just make it as status quo and give the deliveries to other markets. Anybody from Africa? Leave comments below. Do you see there's increase of like advertisements? Is there a lot of people at the showrooms? I don't know. It seems like a small market and it's not that easy to expand in that market overall. And last but not least, let's look at the worldwide sales. So this is all the markets add up together. So we have seen a trend that 2019 was the best year, 2021 seemed to be a recovery year, and 2022 is a year that it will drop. And worldwide, it's a similar pattern, because if all the markets are the same, it'll end up being pretty close. But 2021, it's interesting. Worldwide, 2021, it actually did very well. It actually got very close, like 760,000 versus 2019 765,000. It was only short 5,000 units. But look at December. December was the month where things started to fall. They were off 20,000 units. If they actually did 78,000 units in 2021, this would have been 780,000, which broke the record in totality. But then, parts, shortages, and all that really hit them badly, because starting December 2021, numbers in 2022 just didn't look that it was going to recover at all. So let's look at 2023. January, the worst of the whole January. But February, you can see the number has actually reached 2021 numbers. Even though total 101 was still not good, but it's starting to see signs of recovery. March didn't do 82,000, but much better than 2022 with 69,000, which means it's ranked number 2 for March. And then when you look at March year to date, 170,000 really meets March 2019 numbers. So it does look like there is some sign of recovery. We will have to see April, May, and probably June to see if this trend continues. And if it does continue, we're having signs of cars in the lots, and we will be able to get cars that we've been asking for. This is the overall worldwide sales, and I would probably be updating this as Lexus or Toyota releases numbers for these markets. And I'm hoping I will be able to show you that we're in a recovery trend across the world. And we can definitely see that there is strong demand in Japan. We can see that in North America it's getting better. Asia is not doing well. Europe not doing well as well. Middle East seems to be a good market. Initial numbers for April seems to be okay. We know in US it's gone up. Canada has gone up. And we will have to see the other markets as numbers start to follow in. And once we have that, I'll definitely have another video on the market updates. So until we have the next update, I'll talk to you again next time. Cheers. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, and share this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that alert button to get notified when new videos are posted. If you'd like to support the channel, you can definitely provide a super thanks. I'll see you guys again next time in the next video.